I've had a busy week recording a wide variety of podcasts, and I've enjoyed it. But sometimes it's a very good idea for me to slow down, to enjoy other aspects of life. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that means I'm likely to tell a story, just for fun. And since I'm here in Wellington, and behind me is a marina with some boat sheds, let's see what sort of story I come up with here on Small Steps Through Life. One day, there was a small rowboat, and it was in the middle of the marina, and it sat there bobbling away. And as people watched it, they were thinking, that is bobbling a lot, considering the water's flat. And so they watched and they thought, wonder what it is. One of the bystanders said, I wonder if it's a dragon underneath, flapping its wings under the water. And so the bystander said, don't be silly. There's no dragons in the marina. It's too small. And so they thought about it. And somebody else said, well, maybe it's an elephant somewhere in the world is jumping up and down. And the other bystander said, now you're just being silly. And another one said, well, maybe there's a small critter on the boat and it's rolling backwards and forwards in laughter at our comments. And another bystander said, now you're just stretching it. You're seeing how far you can push this, aren't you? And as they watched, they saw a head poke up from the side of the boat. They saw a black head, black flippers, and a beak. They heard a raucous laughter, and they saw the flipper pointing at them. It turns out that indeed it had indeed been something in the boat, and it was a penguin. But it wasn't just a normal penguin, because the penguin had been listening. He'd been using a parabolic mic to listen to the bystanders to see what sort of things they came up with. And what they didn't know was that amongst the bystanders there had been a sack of 3 penguins in a coat, and they had been seeding the conversation with crazy comments to see how far the audience would go with their ideas if somebody made a crazy idea as the first one. And the penguins were very content with the outlandish ideas. An elephant. An elephant indeed! With that, the penguins jumped off their stack, dropped the coat where they were, and swam out to the boat. And it powered off. It wasn't a rowboat even. Nothing was quite what it seemed. And on that note, I hope you've enjoyed. I have. And I'm going to say, see you later.